What's happening, everybody? Today, I'm bringing you a Viktor and Zoe deck, but in this deck, it's actually 37 Targon cards, and the 3 splash cards are just 3 Victor. So I'm using a full-blown Allegiance deck with the Invoke package, attempting to use all of those created cards to level up Victor, and just, propel us into a late-game sustaining situation where the Invoke package can just kind of take over and keep replicating and keep giving us extra and extra hand value. I think there's plenty of invoke cards. I think there's plenty of created cards, and I feel like it actually, justifiably can level up Victor at a decent pace. And yeah, it's been really fun so far. It's very flexible, like all invoke decks are. So I'm gonna dive in. I'll go through the deck real quick, maybe run a game or two today. So add a little bit of gameplay to these videos. Yeah, past couple videos haven't had the time to fully dive in for gameplay, but this time we'll play a game or two, see how it goes. And yeah, as always, guys, this is Shane again from the Twin Sons Podcast, and we're doing a giveaway right now. So if you leave comments in these videos, you'll enter to win a mouse pad. So go ahead and do that. But here is the deck. So we got Victor Invoke. So it's just Spacey Sketcher Zoe as our 1-drops, 3 Spell Thief, because card's insane with Victor for sure. Card's just awesome in general. 2 Guiding Touch, 2 Hush, Mountain Goat. We got Pale Cascade. We're using this Starry Scamp because we kind of put a nice little board pressure up at the beginning with Zoe in this early curve. And it can really help to apply some pressure early. Then we have Giddy, the Priestess, Bastion to protect Zoe and to protect Victor. 3 Mountain Scryers, 2 Sunforgers to get a little lifesteal back into the situation. 3 Victors, 2 Star Shaping, 1 Sky's Descent. So we have a full-blown Invoke package here. Plenty of created card options. We have Spacey who invokes. We have the Goat who gets a gem. Zoe obviously does a ton of invoking. We have the Priestess who gets plenty of invoking. The Scryer who gets plenty of invoking. And that normally just compounds in itself and just continues with a lot more invoke. And it's really strong. You have a lot of cards that are flexible there, but you can keep, increasing how much you're invoking there, playing created cards, get Victor leveled up, playing different named cards to get Zoe leveled up. It doesn't always happen, but when it does, it's really, really strong. Regardless, she's just a very solid early drop that's going to help us with card advantage. We have a lot of cards that are creating cards, so a lot of these cards have a ton of value imprinted on them. Bastion is pretty important to protect your big things. Including just something that something that you actually invoke. It's pretty good for that as well. But obviously Zoe and Victor, and then Giddy. We have plenty of Celestial cards in here, so you will normally behold a Celestial and be able to grant an ally +1/+1 and Spell Shield. So that card's pretty useful here. There's a lot of other options, so I'm trying to keep it mostly Targon, obviously, and we have just 3 P and Z cards, but there are other options. I think Victor is pretty good in the deck, but we could definitely run Behold the Infinite here. We could definitely run Sparkle Fly if we want to get more elusive and lifesteal to share the keywords. But typically, the Golden Sisters, the 4/3s that are both lifesteal and elusive for Invoke is plenty. That's really all you need for when you do level up Zoe. You just want everything to get elusive, and everything getting lifesteal is just a bonus. So that's pretty good. On top of, if you play a Spell Shield thing, that's really solid for leveled up Zoe as well. We could do Mentor of the Stones. I'm just talking about some flex options here that we could add in, but don't find it super necessary. Could do Moonlight Affliction. I'm not sure that's really that necessary either. And then once we get to the top end, it's like I am running 1 Sky's Descent for some finishing power because we do have a lot of things out there for kind of catch people off guard. Not sure if it's 100% needed, and Eclipse Dragon could be pretty good. Reducing the cost of the next Celestial is really solid, as well as just creating a Dragon and Celestial is just a ton of value. But I feel like once we get to that point of the game at 7, we actually just want to play some of those big things we've been invoking the whole game because they're really good. And the funny thing is, you have Mountain Scryers, which will reduce the cost of those. But if you actually do end up leveling Victor, he'll also reduce the cost of created cards by 1. So you can really play some cheap Celestial units and just kind of flood the board with these big, beefy units, which is super solid. Matchup-wise, I'm not exactly sure where this falls up in the matchup table. It's really hard to pinpoint where Invoke decks fall in the matchup table because they're just so flexible, right? They can just adjust to all the different matchups. We have plenty of bodies to block aggro. We have plenty of healing with Lifesteal, with Star Shaping, with Guiding Touch, and then with all of the other healing that we can get from the Invoke package as well. So it's really tough to find where this actually fits in as far as the matchup table, but it's just a pretty solid deck overall. I mean, heavy challenger stuff can hurt if they kill Zoe, if your game plan really is to go Zoe. But then again, you can just get some big invokes to really help you there as well. So it's just a solid deck that's very flexible. It's, there are decks that are just flexible that can just go into multiple different matchups pretty well, and I think this is definitely one of them. Definitely a little bit weirder. I know, there's other styles with Viktor and Zoe that's more focused on the elusive, using the Neandroid and things like that. I wanted to try fully going into that Invoke package here and seeing how it worked out. And it's definitely been fun so far. So let's run a game or two here. Yeah, we can just dive right into ranked. But guys, if you have any questions about the giveaway, we're giving away a mouse pad that has a pretty sweet emblem on it. It's on our Twitter and in our Discord. You can check that out. This one's actually has Raven on it, and it's really, really sweet. And we're giving it away. If you just comment on these videos up until the 24th, you can enter to win it. It is US only. Shipping's absurd, but... So they got Zoe. We'll probably pitch Spell Thief to start. Yeah, they're not going to play... they might play Star Chart or something early, but we'll keep Zoe and we'll keep Mountain Scryer. This is most likely... a deck that's been going around a bit. It's, got Atrocity most likely as the splash for Shadow Isles, which is really solid. It's something I was playing a lot in the seasonal, was Invoke with Atrocity. But, I mean, we've got a good curve. I mean, he pretty much has to block this, I would assume. So we would just trade Zoe's. I don't have any protection for Zoe here, so I don't want to risk it. Now, if I had like a Giddy or something that could protect Zoe, I probably wouldn't have done that. But since I don't have any protection, he could. We'll just trade Zoe into Zoe there. Not exactly sure what we're waiting on here. There we go. All right. Sometimes you got to intimidate him with the selecting the emote, see if it's going to happen. All right, we have a decent curve. I'm kind of just going to see what we draw, see how flexible we can make the deck, and go from there. Alright. So we'll just open attack. Priestess is going to help us, help our board at all. Shouldn't have anything that's fast speed between those two regions, most likely. That's going to do anything there. So, we'll get a free gem. Mountain Goat already struck once. Pretty solid value. Sunlight guide you, my brethren. So, we'll see what we get. This is pretty tough. The Traveler's really good just to continue that compounding, like, invoke interest like we talked about. We put into that. But I think I'm going to go Warrior here. Even Written in the Stars is really, really solid, though, because both our champions are very good. But I'm going to go Warrior in case he does play Zoe. Yeah, another Zoe out would be annoying, as would a Diana. So I feel like, that worked out, too. I ended up top decking a Zoe, so that's good, but... Yeah, we'll play Zoe just to be able to block here. Save some mana here. I mean, we don't need to get this guy out right now. We don't have a ton. Like, if we would have saw, if Zoe hits and actually can invoke that way and things like that go on, then it might be more worth it to actually play him early. But at this point, it's not. So I could Spell Thief to get Hush, to hush that, to kill it. It seems like a lot of trouble for when I can just kill it on my turn with the Warrior. So we're just going to let it strike. Don't think he's going to have removal for the Warrior. Now he might have a stun or another silence. That could work, but... Alright, so he's got +2 health and spell shield, but we're not really running anything that's direct removal. But again, this deck does look like it could be, because we are running P and Z and Targon, so it could look like we're running some of that stuff, but we're not. I think I'm going to play Star. So this is my only invoked card, my only Celestial card here. So I'll play Scamp beforehand. It's a little kind of sequencing thing. You got to play this before you do that. But it's a free 2/2. I mean, he's on the chopping block of this deck, but he is interesting. He really works with the 7 cost spell that gives everything +2/+2. Just having these little like units on your board. If you do get a chance to invoke that with like Mountain Scryer or Behold the Infinite or anything, it's super powerful. And then you can have just so many units on board. You know, you're just flooding the board with various things, and it's really, really good. So we're definitely going to try to kill Zoe here, and we're going to send this as well. I think we're good with everything else. We'll send the goat if he wants to block with the 4/1. That's fine. Kind of actually has to. It just saves us some damage and gives us another gem, which is good. So we'll hang out here. So I think the warrior ends up being a pretty decent choice for right now. We're kind of chilling with hand value. Our hand value is looking pretty solid. You know, we have 2 gems, which is great. A lot of burst speed, so she's only at 2 out of 10. We do want to level her if we can, so we want to keep playing different named things. We do have to watch out for their big plays as well. They could be running Ruination or Sky's Descend. I think I'm just going to go with this and start trying to invoke a little bit more. So, if you hold a Celestial, obliterate things with 3 or less power is pretty dang good. I think we're going to go with that. His whole board is pretty weak at the moment. Alright, so he's got a Serpent, which is pretty annoying. Let's see what we get from super cool star chart here. Yeah, so we do pick this up. So we'll use it to try to, we'll try to save Zoe here from the free kill with the Serpent. He might have a Pale Cascade to get around that, but we also have a Pale Cascade to get around that Pale Cascade. So we might want to try to keep Zoe alive. She's at 5 out of 10. It becomes a really interesting situation. Okay, he's at 4, so yeah, we're just going to let her die. But it becomes an interesting situation where it's like, when do I want to actually let Zoe go? And, you know, if you're close to leveling her, it might not be worth it. I will probably still do this just so I can trade here. Get this thing off the board too. But yeah, you want to be careful because you don't really want to be, you know, going all in on Zoe. This isn't like a full Zoe protection deck. If it happens, it's great, but it's not something, like I said, that needs to happen. We could just blow up his board here. I'm not sure it's the right answer. So we have a couple greedy options. We could just go for that right now. Blow up his board. He probably has a big 7-drop or something that he's going to play, which is going to be annoying. So yeah, we'll go for this. If he does have like an 8-cost Celestial, this will at least get this thing off the board. And then make his Celestial then, you know, cost a normal cost. So. Alright, yeah, I think we're good. We'll just pass. We still have a lot of value. I mean, their deck is the same type of thing, though. They have a lot of value, too. We don't have any of our big stuff yet, so we're both kind of just invoking still right now, trying to find the most value we can. Sunlight guided my brethren. Alrighty. I think at this point we want this. The Obliterate's good, but a lot of his things are going to have Spell Shield. So, yeah, I think we're going to go with that. Got a Diana out. He's a 4/4. Quick attack's pretty dang good. So we'll spend a gem here just to make him do something else there. Now we can kill this, but I still need to get my free challenger off the board. No more lies. Yep, so he'll take that, which is, you know, not terrible. I could Spell Thief, go for the Hush, because he did play a Hush. I don't think it's super worth. I can still play this anyway. So now we do need big things now. Like, we're coming to the point where it's like, alright, we need actual big game-finishing units. We've played a lot of different invoked cards, so, you know, we've played 4, which isn't bad. So this thing's already going to be a 12 attack. But we're getting to that point of the game where, like, we kind of need, you know, we don't have a lot that's getting finished. And as you see, Victor's already at a 6/8, and I could easily get him higher if I do wish. Just by playing, like, the Sketcher and a Spell Thief to create something. So Victor's a way to close out. But for right now, once we're at this point at 9, Victor came, drew him on turn 9. We don't really need him right now, so we'll play this. But he would have been a decent drop like over one of these earlier, because then he's creating the hex core each round, which is giving him random keywords, which is solid. And, he'll be augmented, keep getting additional attack, and etc., etc. So we don't have any play around, any tricks. So we're just going to send these two. If he does buff this to get the trade here, kind of whatever. He needs to work really hard to buff it beyond death. That's fine. That's an even trade here, which is still good. He should do that, but it's not to the point where it's worrying me. As long as I'm killing her, still I'm set. We have his Nexus at 4, and finishing power is really just going to come from keeping this large unit on the board. And we do have Spell Shield on this, so we do avoid that. Like I said, they're probably running Sky's Descent or Ruination, so one of their big board wipes, at least I can protect myself from it with Spell Shield. So I have it there, and then Bastion is good to protect if I do want to play Victor soon, which, definitely could happen. And the other thing is, if he does cast it, we're both probably rocking Spell Thief in our decks, so we're going to be picking things off. And something that helps level Victor up crazy fast, too, is like Spell Thiefing a Spell Thief, and then you just ramp into a bunch of created cards. So Victor definitely might be coming out next time. We got to see what we do. That would be a great card to Spell Thief as well, because that'll let me invoke a large unit, which is very important. So we got Giddy, which is pretty good with Victor. He passes to just end round. Yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on here, so I think we just don't take that bait, and then we just attack again. Yeah, I mean, once you're in an advantageous position like that, you don't really need to play anything. He's got plenty of cards. He definitely has something. So this makes him, he needs to have like 2 target spells so he can hush it, so he can put a blocker out. Or he could just start shaping his Nexus to heal out of range, which is, totally fine. But even if he does that, we're still kind of hanging out. At that point, we'll still play Victor or something and then get some value. I don't know if he was trying to bait me into playing something. I mean, Sky's Descent for him would have cost 15 anyway. He had no Celestials out for them to be any cheaper, or Dragons. So yeah, I don't know what he was doing. It could have been a Ruination. Like, he wanted me to play another big unit and then he could ruinate the board. I'm not sure. The pass there is very weird. And I could have thought about it for a second, but like, it just seemed like, all right, well, my board's already here. They don't have anything that's quick. He could be running Vengeance, yes, but like I said, he needs 2 things to target this, and most likely he's not. He's most likely running a Invoke deck. I think he just loses. So we got the first game down. We'll play one more for the video. Yeah, like I said, I apologize for having the other videos not have gameplay in them. A little tight on time in the week. We got to interview Sean Main, the designer of these cards, on the podcast this week, which was a blast. But yeah, I wanted to get more time out for videos and more gameplay, but I wanted to at least still put out the decks, even if there wasn't any gameplay. And also, I just wrote an article as well about 4 different Riven decks, so you can check that out too. Pretty fun article. I think Riven's a really fun champion to deck build with, but I wanted to include the other champs in some of these videos as well. Alright, so he could be definitely putting on some pressure with Lucian and Garen. Victor's an interesting keep. I think we're going to pitch him. If I had another 1-drop or anything else, I would have kept it maybe, but I didn't. I definitely just wanted something in the 2 and 3 range like that, just so I could at least block some of the early units that are going to be coming down. So definitely need chump blockers against this type of thing. So we'll play Goat here. Probably won't attack. You know what, we'll attack now because he'll probably get a barrier and lifesteal with that. Or, I'm sorry, barrier and challenge with that anyway. Not worth the risk of letting him have that, so we'll just send it out. Alright, he's going Grand Plaza. So I can definitely do things offensively, at least. we might want to take 2 more damage. I think I'm going to play the goat. And then I'll play Zoe. You know, we don't have any landmark removal. We're not running any. We definitely could add some. If Grand Plaza becomes that big of an issue. Definitely a possibility. So we don't have anything for Invoke yet. Yeah, we'll send that. Get the strike. We'll probably play it so we can play these other units as well. Ah, okay. Stony Suppressor. That's pretty sweet. Definitely is going to hurt us. We'll still play this, though. We're going to need units to defend things. See what else he has. So he's definitely gonna hurt on offense. He's gonna kill Zoe. He's gonna do some other things as well. We seem to have enough blockers to kind of hang out for a little bit. But yeah, I feel like this might be one of our worst matchups in general. Yeah, that with quick attack is pretty rough. We'll pass for now. See what he does. All right, that seems unnecessary. So we do have the option to, like, play a gem on Zoe and then hush one of these things. I think what I'll do is actually play this to give her spell shield, though. And then if he pulls with that, I can hush him for 3. And then he has to use a buff. I think that works out. I think I'll definitely hush Lucian here. Now, even a Sharp Sight doesn't let him live. It's not terrible. I mean, obviously, we're not in a great position. The Stony Suppressor's kind of smacking us up.
I'll stop you. Whoa. Hey.
Yeah, Stony Suppressor is hurting. But he just passed there? Interesting. He just wants to save all of his units for offense. He's just passing. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to heal so I can get a big unit out. Wow. Tough call here for sure. Supernova could be good to kill that. I think I got to go with the unit, though. Pass for now, see what he plays. He's playing nothing. Man, I don't know what his hand is. It might be all combat tricks. I mean, he was on offense with Grand Plaza, not playing anything. I don't know what's going on, guys. I am not sure. Maybe he's playing elites and stuff, and he's using harrowing and all, but he hasn't really played that many units that are elite-esque. Don't know. Definitely weird. So we'll attack and, you know, see if he does any crazy buff. We still have another hush, which is nice. So he's not buffing anything, so we'll just kind of let that go through. We have the heal. Stony Suppressor is making things annoying, but... Got a Challenger Garen. Bannerman's out. I think we'll wait still for now. Definitely need to heal this, I think, to keep it alive. Yeah, we're going to be on turn 10. The Great Beyond does get damaged through, though. I think the Great Beyond's probably the better call here. Yeah, we'll go with that for now. So the Scourge is pretty good, too, if I had a bigger board. But I don't. They don't have a ton of answers for Elusive, either. You know, especially with Spell Shield, because they can do Concerted Strike and things like that, but this one was a weird game, to say the least. You know, they didn't play anything for some very important turns. Alright, well, we got the win. Yeah, so you see, I mean, we don't have anything high cost, so we really need to rely on the Invoke package coming through at the end to make us our win condition, right? our win condition at the beginning, it doesn't really exist. It's just kind of be annoying, stall out, get to the late game, consistently pick some damage through, get pretty decent trades in the middle game, some decent healing, some decent protection. If Zoe spirals off, you're set. If Viktor gets leveled, he can be a solid unit that can escalate into a win condition, just like Zoe can. But, if he gets lifesteal, if he gets elusive or overwhelm, and you keep augmenting him, because he's going to get augmented, you're going to play a lot of created cards, then you can kind of get something out of it. But for the most part, our actual win condition there is really waiting until we get to the end of the game, and then we can invoke large units and then take those units and just either win through overwhelm, win through elusive. That last game is just you chalk that up to some nonsense, to be honest, because I have no idea why he didn't play units on those turns. I don't know. I mean, he had Senna in his hand. I don't think he top decked it, but I don't know what his hand was. So chalk that up to whatever. But in general, very flexible deck. You can see you kind of just have to take what you get sometimes with Invoke, but super fun. Good way to utilize 2 new champions. I hope you guys enjoyed it. The deck code will be in the description below. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, leave a comment, help us grow a little bit. We have plenty of the dev team on our podcast all the time, which is super fun, so check those episodes out. And until next time.